Yo, what up? This is D Knight, and you're listening to the Pardon the Insurrection podcast. My oh my, we've had so much going on. For starters, in case you missed it, we've got a new addition to the Pardon Pie family, Tara Dublin. Make sure you go follow her on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. Also, pick up a copy of her book while you're at it. Make her day, The Sound of Settling. A very fun and interesting read compared to the things we talk about on this podcast. But yeah, we're heading toward the do or die time for the 2024 election. Go ahead and hit up JoeBiden.com. Get that man like $1 a month or something. Help his campaign staff up and get prepared to try and save our democracy. And make sure to grab like one other person you know and tell them about the podcast. Make sure they subscribe and tune in every single week. We got a lot of things coming up for you this year. We need all the support that we can get. So if you do your part and help us grow our audience, we'll do our part and help elect Joe Biden in 2024 and save American democracy. And this is the Pardon the Insurrection podcast. He fucking did it. It's a fucking miracle. Double fucking rainbows, motherfucker. We got espionage indictment. It's all over. It's the end.
Espionage, conspiracy. Oh my gosh, this is now. It's a pretty damn good day.
Concealment, false statements.
Oh,
witness tampering.
How long ago was it that Jack Smith was involved? Because the FBI raid was.
Wait, calm down, Ty. You ain't.
We're still doing the
Schadenfreude. You gotta be hype about it. You gotta be like, they got his ass. He's going to prison. He'll never get out. He's going to die in jail.
People are
Lock
asking
his
me
ass up.
if he could appeal to SCOTUS, and I'm like, he'll be dead by then.
You know what? This guy, I'm.
Ty, you're not doing the thing. You gotta do the thing.
What thing?
Drama.
The thing
Rhythm.
we're doing.
Oh, hey.
Okay, hold on. Let me start it over.
Wait, how? Trump's going.
Merrick, fuck. Wait, I'll do it for you. Hold on. Let me start it over. Merrick fucking Garland. Jack Smith. They fucking did it. Indictments, baby. Send his ass to prison forever.
Justice is coming, and Justice Department. Wait, you turned it off.
And it's coming all over Trump's face. I'm sorry, that was. Wait, let me start over. I did it wrong.
Wow, man.
Wait, let me start over. All right, Ty, your turn. Go.
Indictments are coming.
Wait,
he's going to jail.
Wait, say it with your chest. All right, go.
God.
Indictments handed down from on high from Merrick Garland and Agent Jack Smith. Today on Donald Trump is fucked.
That's how you do it, Carol. You tell him.
Donald Trump is fucked.
Espionage. 20 years. Obstruction of justice. 12 years. Conspiracy. Witness tampering. He'll get out of jail when he's 147 years old.
He'll die in jail. He'll die in jail.
No big hits for you.
No donuts for Trump in prison.
No Diet Cokes.
In prison, Trump is the donut.
And when he dies, he'll join Pat Robinson in hell and say hello to Art
and Rush
Riles.
It couldn't have happened to a nicer president.
And Kirstie Alley.
Oh, shit.
You've waited for this moment for years. It's here. Pop your champagne. Toast to this motherfucker going to prison for the rest of his life. We did it. We did it.
We did it. Now is the time to fucking gloat. Tremble in your boots, the GOP. Tweet your outrage and your victim complex.
Time for you to throw your support behind Mike Pence.
No.
Even though you just tried to hang him. Chris
They're coming for you
Christie
too.
will lose 175 pounds because he thinks he has a chance. I don't know. I ran out of shit. I feel like I've been waiting for this forever. I would have more to say. I don't know what happened.
But the song is ending anyway, so it's perfect timing.
That was anticlimactic.
No, it's not.
I'm usually good at the climaxes. I don't know what happened. No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
On
look,
a very special episode of Pardon the Insurrection.
yes, this is the Find Out episode.
I've got after 70-something fuck around episodes.
Yeah, we've been fucking. Well, yeah, it's been 70 episodes of fuck around, and you know.
Oh,
episode
is this our 70th episode?
Well, no, it's like 79, 80. I don't know. We're close to 80. I haven't really been keeping track. But yes.
Well, that's still a lot considering we didn't really have a regular schedule of recording.
Oh, well, all right. So let's do. I'll do the thing, kids. If you're listening, if you don't understand our recording schedule, so here's how it goes. One day in the middle of the week, I'm like, hey, y'all ready to record? Or Carol's like, hey, ready to record? Or Ty's like, hey, and I'm like, sure, I got some notes, let's go. And then we record for like 2 hours because I won't shut the fuck up and I'm obsessive about this shit. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, wow, that would be one really long episode. Let's chop it up into 2. And then that's how you get 2 episodes every week. But yes, we're currently on episode 79, or rather the most recent episode was 79. This is episode 80. So yeah, nice round number for the Find Out part of the podcast. But first, before we get to the breaking news, the most important breaking news of probably our lifetimes, first a word from our sponsor, Sheets and Giggles. You know, I'm not necessarily sure if he's more our sponsors as much as like he sent us a gift bag and we give him shout outs on the podcast. But yeah, Colin from Sheets and Giggles, you the fucking man. I hope you're celebrating tonight. I know you're a Miami Heat fan and they having a rough time right this second, but you know what? At least we got a Trump indictment, so I'm going to sleep
Bringing
well
the
tonight.
heat in Miami.
Yes, I'm going to. Yeah, there's more good news coming out of South Florida than just the Heat and the Panthers. So I will be sleeping well on my wonderfully soft set of sheets from Sheets and Giggles. And audience, you should do yourself a favor and pick up a set just for you. All right, Ty. Guess what? Guess what day it is? What day is it?
Day. I can't stop eating this hot sauce. It's some Valentina.
The fuck?
I'm just sticking my fingers in it.
Hey, well, that got really
And my
graphic.
tongue is all spicy.
Ooh, well, you know, talk dirty to me, please.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh,
Very nice. So yeah, we're like, oh no, what will we talk about tonight on our podcast?
Well,
I'm
kidding.
that wasn't the case. Actually, you know, look, if you're a regular consumer of the news, especially of, you know, the Rachel Maddow show, once upon a time when she was on regularly, she would have this routine where she was like, all right, well, we had to throw out our whole entire A block because a bunch of news broke. And then more news broke, so we had to throw out an entire B block. Well, we just threw out our entire podcast because I wasn't necessarily expecting indictments to come today. Like, it had been rumored, and there was a lot of activity at the courthouse down in D.C. earlier in this week, and much more activity recently during today, well, Thursday, at a courthouse in South Florida.
At first, I thought he was, you know, like when he was saying that the FBI, like when he kind of lied, getting in front of, so I thought there's no news yet. So we're all like, Trump says he's been indicted, but he says a lot of shit. Like, is this true? Or is he just trying to write? But yeah, he was melting down. He's been on Truth Social.
Yes, Trump has been on Truth Social, losing his mind for about 3/4 of a week now. And he's making all these proclamations about whether or not he'll be indicted. You know, we can only assume that his lawyers are privy to information that we are not. Apparently that was the case. He was sent a target letter recently. That was the incident that led to his lawyer seeking a meeting with Merrick Garland Unfortunately for them, they only managed to get a meeting with Jack Smith, and he was not impressed with their arguments as to why he should not be indicted, given the fact that he was indicted today. Womp womp.
Yeah, man. And Jack Smith, and then I hear listening to people on this space today, and they're going on and on about how the American public needs to see what they have on him. Like, no, bitch, these are classified documents, you dumb fuck. Like, like, like you don't just, so it's like they're trying to make it now like,
Carol put her pussy on the desk. You missed
you've
it.
You've got to share it.
She's rubbing it for us.
Because otherwise, we're not going to believe, man, get the fuck out of here. Like, oh, well, is this like the Mueller? And then they're like, everyone knows Obama spied on his. And so they're going to.
It's my cat, Dimitri. A cat.
Hi, Dimitri.
Oh,
Sorry.
I got a pimple.
That's very important information for the podcast audience. Ty.
It is. It is.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
Dimitri, purr for the
you know
audience.
what? Well, you might have
Listen
a pimple,
to my
but
cat purring.
you still look quite lovely. You're glistening.
Can you guys hear it? I can't.
No, I can't.
I can't. Is he purring? I can't
Yeah.
hear it.
I can hear it in real life, but I guess this microphone doesn't pick up ambient noise like cat purring.
I think unless you have original sound on the Zoom, look, this is too much information. Like, this is not the information the listeners signed up for. If you have original sound on, if you don't have original sound on the Zoom, there's this noise suppression feature, so it'll probably cut that noise out. It really only responds to anyway. Yeah, back to what you were saying, Ty. So, yeah, they're like, oh, we need to see what they have on the wall. It's a bunch of fucking classified documents. We're not going to see all that shit. It's more likely than not, rather, by the procedures that the judicial system will use to handle the classified information, that we will see portions of a classified document that will be declassified to use as evidence.
And they'll probably have them redacted,
Yeah, they'll have a large chunk of it redacted, and they'll have portions of a handful of documents declassified specifically for use in the trial. And there's actually a process.
I want to read the charging document. Like, I want to read the actual where they say DOJ releases blah 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 or what have.
Okay, well, I guess we can start with what we know about the charges, given that we've not seen the actual indictment. So first of all, Trump is being charged under the Espionage Act. It doesn't say specifically whether it was for the illegal taking, retention, or the dispersal of classified documents. It's all under one statute, but I'm sure if they have him on multiple instances of each action, that it would be a separate charge. Second of all, he's being charged for making false statements to investigators. I mean, that's pretty fucking clear. I think we've had 100 fucking episodes. We're not even at 100 episodes, and we've had 100 fucking episodes about how much he's been lying to investigators over and over. And apart from that, he's being charged for, conspiracy to obstruct. Is that
yeah?
I'm sorry, I didn't make a list before we started. That probably would have been. That probably would have been.
I don't know. It's hard. It's like all kind of speculation without being able to see the indictment.
Yeah, I can't.
It's not all. I know it's listed someplace. They have some ideas, and it's like based on Trump and sources close to Trump and quotes.
Yeah, but I don't know. These people are melting down. But they keep saying this is the first time ever that well, we didn't have a president criming like this, and Nixon fucking resigned like that. This is
Nixon would have been the first president, former president, to be under a federal indictment if he hadn't received a pardon from his replacement upon leaving office. But I'm assuming that was a deal they made under the table. So specifically, Trump has been charged under 18 U.S. Code 793 for gathering, transmitting, or losing defense information, which is the Espionage Act. The thing about this particular charge, and I'm sure we've covered this to some degree in a previous episode, but this specific charge doesn't necessarily require that the information be classified, just that it be, one, related to national defense, and two, be, closely held, which, again, because they were classified documents, the classification level of the documents satisfies that particular aspect of the Espionage Act. And whether, so I guess we can conclude from the fact that when Trump took the documents, he was authorized to do so as a president of the United States. So I'm assuming the gathering is out. They probably punted on that unless they can prove that before he took them that he had, I don't know, there was some illegal plot to make sure he had the documents in his possession once he was no longer president and no longer qualified to have access to them or not. I don't know. As for the transmitting or losing or destruction of defense information.
I mean, do you really think it would be that hard to prove they had some intent way back when? I mean, at least liberal Twitter was, on that day watching them move out. I've said it like every time, like we watched them taking boxes of documents and loading them onto trucks.
Well, yes, look, what you're saying is, are we fucking morons? No, but the difference between us not being morons and proving it beyond a reasonable doubt in court.
I get that, but we're not the only, I'm saying these morons like me noticed it. So surely someone who had authority and jurisdiction may have also noticed and talked to people who might have information. I'm just saying, like, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that if I was thinking it, someone whose job it was to investigate that may have also been thinking it, Well, Agent Jack Smith.
Regardless of whether they get him on the initial act of taking the documents, they've got him on the retention. That's
and on the line. And on the line. That's it. Well, that was his lawyer, but that letter, but they've got, I mean, Jack Smith, he's no dummy, man. He's prosecuted international crime. And
I mean, the motherfucker left The Hague to come do this, and people are like, well, if Jack Smith's not going to indict anybody, bro, he was at the fucking Hague. Who's going to leave that job?
He just he didn't get involved with making statements. And I think that pissed people off. Because they had no idea what he was doing.
And much like Carol on the Zoom, unlike Carol on the Zoom, he's not been sitting around rubbing his pussy.
I am petting my cat, a cat. Stop saying that in a weird way.
But it was so, he just
very beautiful cat.
He got in there and he did his job, but they also made it pretty easy because Trump couldn't shut the fuck up. And
depending on how you look at it.
We're all bumbling idiots. So he really, it was quick and easy work for Jack, but he was obviously thorough. I think that after he was on that tape, which I wouldn't be surprised if there are more tapes out there because somebody didn't just record one call.
Well, Todd, just in case people weren't listening to the most recent episode, let's describe the tape. Trump was apparently recording himself in his interactions with a number of individuals, namely individuals involved in writing Mark Meadows' biography. It's always fucking hilarious. And Carol, was it you that said, who the fuck is going to read Mark Meadows' biography?
Well, Mark Meadows, he said that he had the day before leaving the White House. So on January 19th, 2021, Trump told him to remove 1,000 classified documents.
I read his testimony it seems likely his testimony is pretty damning.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I think
let's take a second before we get there. Let's go back to this tape. So Trump is on tape talking to these people involved with Mark Meadows and some other individuals, and he's talking about General Milley, talking him out of some seriously escalatory behavior when it comes to attacking Iran for some actions they took in launching some missiles into Iraq, and to discredit Milley's take on the situation. He's waving around a document that's a classified war plan that he had the Secretary or the Joint Chiefs draw up about what an invasion of Iran would look like. So this particular tape, I would imagine, not only is it evidence of the way he intended to use the classified information in his possession, but it also described the fact that he understood the classification process, that the documents in his possession weren't declassified, that he couldn't share them with other individuals, and that he basically understood that, all of this was unlawful. So it'll be exhibit number 1. Well, it'll be exhibit number 2 right behind all the fucking classified documents that he held in Mar-a-Lago that the FBI recovered in their search. So yes. All right, now continue back to where you were, as you were, kids.
So I'm sitting here trying to think. I wonder
Mark Meadows' testimony.
Yeah, I wonder how long Mark has been testifying with them, because we've been speculating.
Oh my God, Ty, we've been talking about that shit for a year.
Because we've been speculating.
Well, yeah, what happened? Okay, so remember, Mark Meadows was supposedly sending documents to the January 6th committee, right? Mm-hmm. And then they were asking for his testimony, and then out of the blue, he was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm not cooperating." So apparently Trump had wooed him over and convinced him not to cooperate with the January 6th committee at some point.
I guess Mark realized recently, or admitted recently, that he was fucked.
Yeah, well, in the months after that, Mark Meadows went like 0 dark 30 and shit. Like he was invisible. We didn't get like nary a word about whether or not he was even continuing to cooperate with the January 6th committee. And then
he had to grow a weird mustache, thinking that no one would notice him. At that time,
he went all Ron Jeremy on us. So after that, we were like, well, damn, we haven't heard anything about Mark Meadows in all this time, even though there's all this fucking news breaking. And the January 6th committee is holding all these hearings, and Merrick Garland's investigating all these avenues into the, relationship between 1-6 and Trump's cronies. Like, damn. Mark Meadows, where the fuck is he at? It's very quiet. It's very strange.
He must have known they had conspiracy charges, and he was probably one of the people in that conspiracy. So especially if he was asked to and did remove boxes of documents.
Okay, so Mark Meadows.
I'm saying I could see why he would decide by now, oh shit, maybe I need to testify.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we don't know when he testified. We have no idea how long he's been cooperating. It could easily have been, 6 months. He could have been cooperating as early as the, late summer of last year before Jack Smith was even appointed.
Or maybe he was cooperating, but he wasn't really a target yet.
Yes. Well, I'm sure he's definitely a witness that would be central to the investigation. Okay. So look, Mark Meadows, chief of staff for Trump as a person who doesn't use email, doesn't send text messages, probably doesn't even DM on Twitter, even though he was banned after January 6th. So,
well, unfortunately, he surrounds himself with everybody else who does.
Well, Ty, that's part of the problem with the massive fucking criminal conspiracy, right? Like somebody's sending text messages and incriminating emails, and that individual in this case was likely Mark Meadows, who, as we know from the January 6th report, in the days leading up to January 6th, was texting a number of individuals from both the House and the Senate about their plans to not certify Biden electors on that day.
There's a backhoe on the first tee tonight at Bedminster. But we Trump in disguise it. He was talking in the morning in the middle of the dark. Dig up his wife. Because I know there's stuff in there.
I don't know.
I do, but I also want to know how.
Are we doing reckless speculation already?
I was only doing mild speculation before.
Okay, we can hit up the reckless. We can already just dive into the reckless speculation about Bedminster. We can do that right now. All right, Ty, you go. Give your theory.
Well,
on Bedminster.
You just will not convince me that there are not documents buried with Ivana. Is that one's Ivana, right? The old one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Ivanka is a Kushner now, and she's not buried yet.
Is she really?
Yep, she changed her name.
Yeah, she's Ivanka Kushner now. You didn't know? I thought we talked about that on the last
We did, but like
I
I didn't know if it was legal. No, I looked it up I looked it up in real time, and
what do you? I wonder if she knew that he was being indicted. Because she just it all the stuff happened like this week. It's only Thursday, man.
I'm pretty sure like she would be in the loop when Trump's lawyers got the target letter from Jack Smith and co.
They probably I know well, Jared Kushner probably I'm sure she knows what her husband's up to. What her husband was up to.
I'm sure she has no idea what the fuck he's doing. It's not like they don't love each other. It's not like they spend time together.
She knows he was in Iran. Are we doing wild speculation now?
All right,
reckless speculation. She knows he was in Iran killing the fucking journalist Khashoggi to blame Iran because they couldn't, declare all on war. And he's like, relax, Pop. I got this for you.
Okay. We now is just that's not even regular speculation. We're just making things up. No, okay. So
I'm doing reckless speculation. I was thinking that before when you were talking about the documents about not doing Iran, and I was like, huh.
Okay. Certainly when Jared Kushner was in office, he was spending all his time sucking up the Crown Prince MBS. We know that for sure. We have
Prince Bonesaw.
A number of sources who revealed that they spent a lot of time on Signal, the app where the messages delete themselves, going back and forth with his buddy. Also, Kushner provided information that led to MBS rounding up numerous members of the Saudi royal family and consolidating power. Also, there's the whole thing with the bone saws and Jamal Khashoggi from.
Well, what I didn't know was somebody. I don't know if it was Allison or someone else had said like
Allison would be Mueller She Wrote /AG on the Twitter in case you're wondering who Allison.
She was saying like or whoever was saying that.
Carol, I know y'all got
talk about Jamal, but why? But nobody knows why.
Apparently, she blocks a ton of people, and a lot of people have shit with her. So
I told you that she. Anyway, I'm not. This is not the Mueller She Wrote.
I read 100 tweet thread about her.
Yeah, people.
I know what thread you're talking about. I got a little ways.
With more important things. Trump is going to jail.
Woohoo!
All right.
That's good. I would
Bedminster. Give me your theory on Bedminster, Ty, and I'll give you mine.
I think that he's got some very important documents buried with her, but he wanted to keep her close, probably so he could look out and look at them, and know what was in there. I think it's something that he's like his ace in the hole or something. And so he's like, I'm going to put these here because I might need these later. So I don't know if he's going to try to call some of his overseas friends. He definitely should not have a passport.
No, motherfuckers, the flight risk of all flight risk. As a matter
Where
of fact,
would he go?
Russia.
Right, he doesn't want to be in Russia.
With Tara Reid.
He doesn't. He's not rich. What are they going to do with him in Russia? Once he's not here in politics, he's not like.
Keep giving him money. They keep giving him millions and tens of. They're like, he's gonna break records, and it's like these people are so fucking dumb. Like these people are genuinely fucking dumb. And they keep just giving him all of their money. And these are coming from small dollar donations. These aren't corporate donors like Ron DeSantis has. But these are small money donors that are giving money to him. So that tells you that small town America, they just love throwing their fucking money away.
They really do. And it's quite funny you bring that up because another famous grifter, Pat Robertson, died today.
Oh, so sad.
Most commonly known for the TV evangelicalism, of robbing people by getting them to send him money and praying to the TV. Very similar to Trump
And
in that
hating gay
regard.
people.
All right. Well, oh man.
He was such a horrible fucking person.
I mean, does anything top that time that he blamed 9/11 on gay people?
Well, he did blame Haiti for making a deal with the devil 200 years before. That's what the
earthquake. Oh my!
Because they made a deal with the devil when they kicked France out.
Because they dared to oppose colonialism?
Yeah, pretty much.
Slavery.
Oh, did you hear Tony and Gabe were playing some of his greatest hits? And he was like, is macaroni and cheese a black thing?
Oh, no.
Yes, he did. And then his coach was like, yes, it is. What the fuck did I just listen to? Man, they were going through these clips and I was like, this shit is wild.
I'm glad he's dead. All right. Back to Bedminster. I'll give you my regular speculation on Bedminster. As far as Ivana's grave, that is not where he's hiding secret documents. He just used her corpse for tax breaks, for tax purposes. Because if you have a portion of land set aside for anyway, it's not important. We don't need to get into New Jersey tax law. What I do think about the classified documents as it pertains to Bedminster, the Saudis hosted one of their live golf tournaments there, and that might have been a potential transfer point for classified information that they might have found valuable. Like, I don't know, U.S. plans as to what an invasion of Iran would look like in highly valuable targets and defense assessments of their military apparatus, things that Saudi Arabia would find highly valuable, considering Iran's Iran rather is a sworn enemy of Saudi Arabia. So, I mean, that could be part of the reason why Jack Smith even opened up an investigation into Trump's relationship with Liv Golf. Speaking of which, and we don't have time for this, but I'm just because it'd be an entire fucking podcast all of its own. But the Saudi-backed Live Golf Tour basically bought golf. They bought golf. It's a quote unquote merger with the PGA Tour, but really what it is they bought golf. They created a competitor to the PGA, took them to court, tried to sue them under antitrust laws, and because depositions, no one wants to go deal with that, especially when you have some potentially incriminating evidence in your communications. Like, one of the few ways out of this was for the PGA Tour to merge with Live Golf to get Liv to drop the lawsuit. And it ended up with the chairman of, a Saudi is technically running things at the PGA now. So they bought a whole sport. That's one of the issues, again, with being a monopoly, is if you have a competitor and you merge with them and they now have a controlling stake or controlling interest, or, you report to whatever the company is that they created after the merger now reports to a Saudi, now the Saudis have control of golf. So good job, guys. Sports washing at its finest. And I know Ty, every time you bring this up, you want to talk about it. I'll be like, we don't have time. I was look it up on your own time. Do your own homework. Well, I kept trying to tell people because apparently came in handy. But aside from that, what's more important about this is that it's very unfortunate for the PGA Tour to sell out at this point to avoid whatever damages they might have been found liable for in court, because apparently Live Golf is under federal investigation, and then the person that they're being investigated for having ties to is now under criminal indictment for espionage. So it's fucking hilarious. Good job, PGA Tour guy. One bunch of rich white guys sold out at the worst time.
Saudi Arabia.
Ooh, they've been wilding,
graining themselves. They are the second, biggest shareholder or owner of Twitter. They own the biggest water aquifer, and they don't have to pay for water. They pump unlimited water for free.
Yeah.
They don't have to pay for it. They own the largest oil
refinery. That's the biggest aquifer in America, that is.
And the biggest, and it's taking like, a lot of places, even we get our water somewhat, so it's like, causing drown. And then they're pumping it to feed cows. It's not even
and
like
alfalfa.
doing anything with the water. And why are they doing it here? It's because it's banned in Saudi Arabia, though they can just change the fucking law. I mean, you're the crown prince, but whatever. But it uses too much water. So they come here and they use our water, and then they don't even pay for it. Then the largest oil refinery in Texas. So not only do they have the largest social media platform pretty much in the world outside of Facebook.
They bought golf.
And
that's important, not because golf is one of the most popular sports in America. That's not it. It's important because golf is like a cross section of the most wealthy and influential people in America play golf or involved with the PGA Tour of some sort. So it's their way of gaining acclaim. It's sports washing. Like, just Google the definition of sports washing, and then it all makes sense. And then you're like, oh, they can just throw a limited amounts of money at this because they have the entire wealth of.
And then people are greedy because Phil Mickelson sure changed his mind after he called them murderers.
We ain't got time, Ty.
All right. But then I don't know. They probably threatened to kill him. So,
well, that's the other thing. Okay. Well, yes, that's the other thing about doing business with the Saudis. I mean, once you know they sawed someone into pieces and dumped the body somewhere, or potentially drowned it in an acid bath, like, those are your bedfellows.